Yes, haven't we been to hell, as in held, and like the typewriter, and back? We've been through a lot. And inspired by, I have to admit, one a great being, the Leo King, that's activating the collective. I love it. It's a trooper. Anyway, inspired me to reflect on what happened 2012, where we are right now, what are we going through. I'm not an astrologer, I'm more like an empathic scenario pattern feeler. So I look at license plates, weather patterns. I have, you know, a broad spectrum on Facebook where I can see patterns. What do people post? How many people post along the same topic? The statistics that I make for myself, where the energy waves are going in, oh, okay, this is what's happening to me too, to you too. Understand Earth, as I'm almost quoting Mr. King, Earth is not going crazy. We are the neurotic ones. We are the issues that need tissues. We are the ones that have to actually clear our act now. And this time shift and time phase that we are going through is actually more like freeing yourself. We had this in the other video about sexual freedom. Don't be afraid to reveal crushes. Be rejected, move on. There will be people that will embrace you. It's not based on what you're looking for in that. Also with the indulgence, which it's very agreeable, don't just party and toss yourself and get lost in, I just don't want to purge no more. I just want to go out there and just do some stuff without teaching. Here's thing is, as bringing back the tantric priestess or priests, where having, you know, physical contact with their clients, but they also taught. So it's not just for the, you know, this is just a base level to get the mind going. It's not just the sex and then it's just that and there's nothing to it and it gets boring. Because here's the thing, energetically the universe structures itself right now. If, and that's for the players and playettes out there, you're just going out there to have fun and there's no depth behind it, there's no growth, no wisdom and no teaching behind it, the doors will shut. Gateways will shut. If you're not supposed to go a certain way, it's like me witnessing patterns and studying my life. And trust me, I'm not the chief and whatever. I'm just daring to speak and put things and elements together that make sense. I realized certain doors will lock. If you go in a certain direction, if it's obsessive, I don't know, having a best friend and you spend all your money and you end up having to recover from that because nothing comes back. Well, that's to show you stop spending money in that direction, because nothing is basically returning here. The universe works as the 8 in infinity is a return, and there's always a return. So exchange has to take place. Thus also, do not make money the root of all evil or the banking system. Make that mankind and the corruption that mankind acted out with the level of exchange that we have created on Earth. So we have to get it together and share now and work together. Also for the billionaires, I want to do a video on what billionaires are missing. It's time to chip in and find bright minds and establish something what actually has no price tag, what everybody's looking for: immortality, rejuvenation, beating cancer, you know, building energetic structures to make it right. Is really open your eyes, see what you invest in, see really clearly what's accessible. There are many people like me out there that have downloads that we can immediately access land, we can immediately set stuff up, that immediately does stuff as I'm doing with the, and that's just not a gimmick to sell, is to get the consciousness going. Hey, we have a device that you can clip on your car and it can say fuel consumption, but more than that, that's just the three-dimensional aspect. The hyperdimensional aspect is that you can do so much more when you enhance the field, when you talk about phase conjugation, meaning harmonious fields. You know, there are things that we we are looking at, and I'm bringing a broader perspective here, is where water retreats. Why is that? And where water comes from the ground, it comes up. There's an energetic aspect to it where the water spirit wants to go. The ancients know that, and the immigrants that slaughtered all our forefathers and ancestors laughed about it. That's why for criticism and non-believers, I really have no time and no patience when our forefathers, and you can even listen to Zulu elders from Africa that have oral traditions of storylines that will blow your lid off if you would just sit down. It's all online and listen to what's going on. One of the Zulu elders, Credo Mutwa, mind-blowing storylines, and you have to get into the resonance of what this guy is saying, because that doesn't make you any money. It just gives you a broader perspective, because you think you know what's going on Earth. You really don't really know what's going on Earth. So here's the thing. Earth, on a grander spectrum, is calibrating, is structuring. You have a very mega, super big, ginormous, gigantic wave at your service to serve you in your purpose. So meaning, indulge and teach. Do not just indulge and find no purpose with it. Like that's, I don't know, you wanna buy makeup or a carnival costume, do a video, teach something with that. It's not just about just get drunk and wasted and mess up and lose yourself. It's like, indulge in moderation. Do not be obsessed with a topic that doesn't seem to solve itself, because right now, very radically and drastically, the universe shows us if you're going into the wrong direction, the doors will close. And it doesn't matter what your ego wants or how you're trying to persuade the higher forces to get what you want. It is not about what you want right now, party people. Over the bloody moon. Not mean. I don't need a reason. It is actually about what you need and realizing that. And that's where the fun is. And yes, the power is back. Yes, you can access that. Yes, a lot of us been through hell, including me. I had emotional things and panic attacks that I had to work through, where I had to face my life, face the decision that I made in my life, where I came from, how I ended up here, how I am continuing and trusting in life and having the willpower to live. I had experiences that were tougher than an ayahuasca experience. In my life, I had near-death experiences. I crossed, I've seen the other side. There is a lot going on that is very real. So the main and major message to you is Earth is recalibrating, and in big parts recalibrated. And since 2012, we have a completely new timeline, which is a multifunctional, omnidirectional timeline available that comes from within. All of that stuff with contact and getting to a higher consciousness, green technology, all the good things that will help you to grow further in this evolution to assist the planet, is actually activating your DNA. One of the examples, and it's not so magical, but it just shows me where our consciousness is going, that I think a billionaire from Sweden bought, I think, 400,000 acres of land in the Amazon region to preserve the forest. So no company and nobody can touch that. So all your billionaires out there, buy land and preserve the forest. Karmically and planetary conscious energetically, you can't even imagine what that would look like on your karmic bank account. As in, if you want to collect data that's valuable for once you leave this planet, you have something to report of what you've did with the energy, how you support it, you know. If you want to, you know, let's say Scotland has banned fracking. You have to Google that, you know, drilling holes into the rock to pump oil back and polluting the groundwaters with that, because the nature doesn't do that by itself in order to save money and get that stuff going. So we are literally forced, we have to change our ways. We can't continue. And we know that, and we realize that. So now it's basically the Wake Up program shook us to the core. Things are blowing up, lawsuits left and right, people getting blown up. I mean, I'm glad I'm not into politics or an official member there. Also that we want to be light beings, we want to open ourselves, we want to be peaceful, we want to be fifth dimensional. Yeah, that all sounds nice, but if you have roadblocks that are very dimensional, that are in your way, guess what? You cannot be all light being right now without the Wisdom. You need the wisdom, the clarity, the little bit of an elder knowledge, like been there, done that, did that before. What's the benefit here? What can we do with this? Combine the fun with knowledge that you teach. Get your act together. Rise up. The power is yours. Do not run in any direction to demonstrate for something that's not directly involving you. Yes, support. Be nonviolent. Be legal. Don't play the draconian system that's just waiting to snap. It's an old paradigm and it's dying. There's no more, how do you want to call it, Anunnakian backup for bad thought traps other than ourselves and our own conditioning. It is time now to get up and get out of your conditioning. Even when you are, I don't know, jealous or you want to hate, and this doesn't go to my viewers and my fans, which I love very much. I'm very, very, very appreciative of your existence and you cruising with me through this altitude of multitudes of possibilities of existence on this planet. It's like, you can say, like an interdimensional jailbreak, understanding that you no longer have to be trapped in concepts that are 90-degree angular boxes in your head, which I call fixed belief systems. They no longer apply. So it's time now. You can say, like, it's uncanny when you are, let's say you're born in a prison of the mind, and the prison door opens. Some monkeys go to the back of the prison, psychological observation, because they don't know what to do with that, what we call freedom. The others, the explorers, the evolutionaries, revolutionaries, in a nonviolent way, mind you, they go towards the door and they, use their little foot and they tap outside and they look around, and it's uncanny because you're free. And then you're thinking, what am I doing with this? Or what's out there? And then are those the crazies like me? I say, you know what? Let's make a run for it. Screw that prison there. Pardon my French. Let's get out of it. Don't even look back. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. And you just bolt out and you make an experience in a completely new platform and in a completely new way, and be amazed of the things that you find out there. Let life approach you. You don't have to chase anything. You just have to be your ultimate self. Be about it. Be brave. Yeah, at times when you're passionate, be loud. Let nobody tell you, oh, you're doing this or this and this and that because somebody feels something that they can handle. You're not penetrating anybody in a weird way. You are passionate. You're soaring. Others need to learn to let you soar and see it's time to take off. Take charge. Be a leader. A lot of, you can say, old guru systems won't work no more. The old texts won't work no more. You have the planets moving in completely new directions. The constellations are in places there where they have never been. So that doesn't match with any, let's say, system that's thousands of years old based on a system. We got to go continuous. We got to grow. We got to get up. We got to also work together. Like I've witnessed throughout the years how people take money from another, steal, betray one another, make each other weak. When we can lay a foundation to be strong, when everybody in transparency puts together and sets it up, and not all just business formation and business contract and all of this crazy stuff. It's like, I say, let's talk to each other. And even if you have ideas or metaphors or things you want to invest in, and it's not about money chasing, it's about, if you want to Google that, cities of light, that I had visions where in the future we have retreat cities where the entire city is a healing city based on crystalline ground, based on negative ionically charged grounds that heal you, that bring the ionosphere down, where you can sit there and just being there for weeks, your body recalibrates, you heal and you get better. The reason why we got sick is because we built like we felt. It's like, look at the cities. Everything is in 90-degree angle building construct. So we went viral on the planet. So that's like, you can say an infection, but we're lucky that Earth is not shaking itself like crazy. We see, look at Chile, how that happened. Earth is in a gentle way telling us, when an earthquake comes, whatever you had set up there, I don't mind anymore, or wait. I'll shake myself, like a dog with the fleas are sitting in the fur, and you get tossed. And same for us in our consciousness. If we don't get it right now, restructure ourselves, be kind to one another, be loving to each other, and really understanding where we are empathically. Also, I will do a video also following about what it means to be an empath. Sometimes people say they can't detect in other people's, or they can't tap into that. Well, I learned that from a powerful empath reading online, is if you cannot sense a person, which is ultimately a reflection of you, that means these are parts in you that you can't detect, that you either ignore or you can't sense. So what you can't sense in somebody else is the same thing that you can't sense within yourself. When you become a powerful empath, you're actually more content, you're calmer. You don't seem so open, when in actuality you're very open. So people that are not that open will actually tell you how they see that they can't see, what that has to do with themselves. So they have to reflect. And everything that talks to you without you asking it reflects on itself, basically. If you project what I'm doing right now, I am projecting, you know, and I'm in my true form, in my true self. This is what I do, and I love myself for it. So there's no judgment or anything. And same thing is what I see in the network community. Put it this way, if I don't go to the Italian restaurant because I don't like the food, it's just an example, I don't go there and vote negative just because I don't like the food. I pass by with respect to go to the restaurant respectfully where they serve the food that I actually enjoy. So online, YouTube is a perfect example to show us when people give a negative vote, is actually they have to release a negative charge to show that they don't agree with something there, just to not agree with that. Not that there's any great people or professors or PhDs or people with great numbers that do that. You see, the level of intelligence increases, the haters actually fade. It's when people have little networks and no connection, really no following or follow-up, and they sit there and they want to not agree with you, not even understanding what the topic is. And that is part of the resisting Anunnaki and slave cell programming. Like somebody texted once, what's that? Enlil's minions that fulfill the, you know, the good job of the loyal slave that does what Massa tells him and never disagrees. But if somebody disagrees with the old, you know, status quo, then we disagree. We have no opinion. So we're part of that old construct that's resisting, as they show in the movie Lucy. You know, how she's overcoming her cells to go supernatural, while her body resists because of the old cell programming. Call it interdimensional cell clearance that is needed. The new light does that with us. And the connection and the new cell membranes and intracellular communication is recalibrating. And we're coming back into what actually assists us into becoming better, realigning ourselves, working with Earth, getting it together. We got to get up, work together, be brave, be loud, let nobody stop you. Don't even get entangled in arguments when people have different opinions of what you should do or shouldn't do. Allow yourself for once to live. Teach with that, indulge and teach. Have fun. It's like, you know, go to Disney World, but use the aspects of the different roller coasters to explain time waves or time travel or interdimensional time layers and combine. That's what we are. We have reached a new level of knowingness. So now the universe asks us, you know, is it just a party and just to, you know, toss yourself over here and get lost in the dance of others, or is there a long-term thing that you actually want to do for you as you're changing your life? If I had to change my life drastically, and I was scared to change because the ego loves the comfort. But then I realized if you get into something uncomfortable, well, that's where you're learning, because you're forced to balance it out. Let's say you're on a surfboard, like the Silver Surfer, and it gets really wobbly. Well, you have to adjust yourself, seeing the current. Once you got that current, guess what? Your body gets real groovy. You're beginning to dance. Like Bruce Lee, gets real wavy. You know, you realize circular motion, not so much, you know, always say the 90 degrees. Kills the spirit, you know, thinking, and mood switches, continuous mood balance, knowing it's going to be okay, you are okay, you have nothing to worry about. Earth is clearing and Earth is clear, and we're going up. And since 2012, lots of possibilities that nobody has looked at are actually taking place. I mean, there's people talking about how consciousness does not compute, because consciousness is, it doesn't have to calculate, it doesn't have to use mechanistic ways to evaluate through egoic filters. This is good, this is bad, according to my individual, intravidual experience, because that's how you practice separation. And the oneness doesn't mean I have to put on a robe and say namaste and be all nice and loving and just be, you have to bring it home like a monk without, or a nun without a monastery, you know. Be here, be in life, talk to people like that, resonate that, and represent that. Be your own mayor. Control your thoughts, mental hygiene, thought management. You know, how do you manage your thoughts? Are you overwhelming yourself with too many projects and you sit there and you go, I don't know what to do? You're only doing it to yourself. Or are you like, okay, it's a lot of stuff going on here. Same as in a workspace. I take my stuff, take my keys, take my tools, structure to move the stuff over here. Okay, here's one key, one workspace. That's how I work. One by one, set it up and post. Even online, sometimes time out online, go into nature, reset, touch the ground, take your shoes off with the feet to the ground, come back, little time out. Also every day, a meditation in your passion, 10 minutes, but however you're going to do it, give yourself some time out, recalibrate, check how you feel, and move forward in what you believe in. And if you can handle that thinking wisdom, party, teaching, long-term, clarity, not denying yourself or beating around the bush with things, being able to face clear communication. Let's say, you know, when I was 16, I was afraid to be rejected if I had a crush on a girl. Oh my God, that ripped me to shreds, you know. I showed interest and it's like, well, you know what they call the friendship card, which we so love if we have a crush. And dudes, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if girls experience that too. Please leave the comments. I'd really like to know, to reflect on that, do further videos. I'd like to have more friends in my life. And, you know, it's a pattern of my life where I looked at where people pull the friendship card on me, and I'm going, oh, okay, I actually really want to cuddle or be closer, and even, you know, which is okay. I had to pull friendship cards on people where I just would not feel that, and it's okay. So I had to learn, like everybody else has to learn, the truth that not all the time people want close contact, you know. Sometimes they just want to be in your presence, or they want to learn something, or they want to exchange something or share. So you do your best as the good friend, the best friend, the loyal friend, and I have them worldwide, people that I know, have known for like 30 years now, that I remember clearly. We never spoke about racism. We never fought. We had different opinions, always agreed on certain things, and we're always open to agree on, okay, if you believe this and I believe that, maybe this can bring that together and make that a higher connection, and the outcome would be a synthesis or a synergetic process of 1 + 1 is actually 3. 2 energy sources make a third one, not 2. And really expanding the horizon on that, growing up, getting bigger, getting into things that are actually fun, loving the people, sending your love out. And I love more connections. Please subscribe if that helps you in any way. Did you see the videos lately? Topsy-turvy, wild and wacky, but what I'm doing is with the best of my observatory skill on a very high academe level, what the pattern here shows and reveals to the nature of what that is the human, namely you. So we play with that, we get dressed, you know, and we play characters to enchant the mind, to grow further, to where no man has gone before. Hear that? From the backyard to the pyramid to the outer space, find another race, leave no trace. Yeah, ultimate truth we got to face. You know that. Remember that. You run the world tower. So come. I just had to let that out there. Be conservative, be geeky, be a clown, be a freak, be normal. Don't try to fit in. Be yourself, color yourself, rainbow colors, all colors are important. Don't limit yourself. Sky was the limit. And also know when you're standing in front of the mirror of truth, the mirror doesn't hold anything after you leave. It remains clear. It doesn't even hold gravity. It just is. And don't post anything with that metaphor, whatever. All I'm saying is ultimately the mind of a warrior, the samurai. He says, clear as crystalline water lake. You see the ground, the surface placid. You look at the surface, you see this image of self clear, higher self, higher mind, clear mind. You perturb the surface, image become distortion, not see clearly, not see clear character. Conception, perception might go wrong. Nobody, as you say, perfect. That is, accept your imperfect perfections and perfect your imperfections. On that note, God bless. I see you most definitely on the flip side.